exploded in big occasions too, in that side, exploded in a positive way. And I just think that this time of the season is this time of the season that Wigan will be better than Salford at delivering in. I'm not sure what sort of pressure might get put on Salford around it all. The expectations maybe from the owner. I don't know how all that dynamic works with Salford, whereas I kind of have a handle on how it works with Wigan, in that the expectation is massively high because you're at Wigan.
Yeah.
If you don't cope with it, you don't get to be a Wigan player. So Farrell should be back, Joel Tompkins might be back, Sam Tompkins is playing a little bit better, I feel. George Williams has had an uptick in the last 2 matches from where he had been getting, and if his goal kicking is on tune, that will be important. We've got our first choice centres back in, their big strike weapons for us. I think we're going to win. I think we might stretch out to a 32-16 win in the end.
Fair play. Okay, so we've gone differently in the first one, but we've matched each other on Wigan. Fair play. League One games of the week then, what stands out for you?
Well, in the Super 8s, it's a repeat of the game that was really good and important at the back end of the regular season, Whitehaven versus Barrow, and I think this will be huge for who gets that preferential second spot for the playoff games, because they'll get the easier draw and that sort of thing. And does the playoff final get played at the home ground of the highest placed side?
I think it did last year, didn't it?
Yeah, but last year they had 2 promotion finals, whereas this year top goes up automatically.
Of course.
But I think it might be played at the home.
Well, then it's important, isn't it?
And if that is the case, then that's huge for whichever one of these can win this game and carry that momentum through. And in the Shield, I've gone with North Wales against the London Scholars. I think they're 2 relatively evenly matched sides as it has been seen so far.
There you go.
So
anyway, NRL Brit picks. Who's doing what this weekend?
Panthers versus Bulldogs, if James Graham's ever going to get back in that side. Thursday, 10:50am. I'm not sure. Is he injured? Is he suspended? What's going on? I haven't been following it closely enough. I've not been listening to any of the NRL podcasts
I thought it was in
the last month.
I didn't know.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. But anyway, he might be playing. Knights versus the Dragons Saturday at 6am. You'll definitely see some players in that one and get to see the continuing form of Gareth Widdop. Rabbitohs versus Raiders Saturday at 8:30am, and Titans versus West Tigers Sunday at 7am. You should see some players in those games. What I would say is check your schedules, because Premier Sports have been showing fucking pointless fucking football friendlies during some of the NRL spots over the last couple of weekends.
Right.
So hopefully that abomination will stop. But check your schedules anyway to make sure you've got because some of the games might be on delayed coverage, and I know that the York against Toulouse match is on a delayed schedule, but I think that's more for GAA finals, which
is acceptable as opposed to...
You'll give them that one over a League One game.
That is acceptable. There you go. Okay, well, that is the World of Rugby League well and truly covered for the 152nd time. So, all that remains for us to do is wrap up the show. Okay, so we're coming to the end of episode 152 of the Super League pod. Trivia, Mark.
Yeah, so last week I posed questions for the listeners. A few people got back in touch. A few did okay. There was 8 questions. 6 out of 8 was kind of the score of the ones who got in touch mostly. And a few people told me they got none as well. True to form. But anyway, I'll give you the answers for everyone who was waiting for those. This first one, no one got in touch with me with this answer in the week. So the former Warrington and Salford player who played for the Storm in 2002 was Ian Sibbett. The half who has played his full career in the NRL is obviously Gareth Widdop. The 2014 Grand Final scorer, front row for South, that one was George Burgess. The young player who scored 7 tries in spells with 2 sides last year was obviously, in his 1 season with the NRL, that was last year, and that was Joe Burgess. Prop, who appeared from the bench in the 2014 Grand Final, was the other twin, Tom Burgess, and then the final Burgess of the run was the current Super League front row as spells with South and Manly, that's Luke Burgess. Forward, who played 69 games in the NRL for St George was Mike Cooper, and the current England and NRL star who moved from France ahead of last season was Elliot Whitehead.
There you go. Okay. Do we have trivia this week then for me?
Yeah, I've got a regular season stat trivia.
Oh, God.
Ahead of probably a more comprehensive stat roundup of of the regular season next week. So if people have any questions about stats of the season, and I can see if I can pull any interesting numbers out if I get time in the week. But I'll pick out like the best performers and that sort of stuff, and maybe see how they compared to last year if I can find that information on my computer. But anyway, I've got 5 questions for you.
Okay.
So
hang on. So it's just about stats?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I see myself doing quite poorly on this, but okay.
Well, it's players based on stats.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think you'll get them. So the first one is, which top 8 side player ends the season with the highest combined tries and try assist figure with 40?
Will Gale.
No.
Okay. Tries and try assists. 40. That's high. I'm stumping myself now. I'm tripping myself up. Is it a centre?
You're overthinking it.
I am.
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Greg Eden?
Yes.
Oh, right. There you go. Yeah, of course. He's got so many league tries.
With 34 tries and 6 try assists. It was George Williams who was second. Luke Gale, I think, was third in that equation. Which top 8 side forward led the league in positive impact plays, that's tackle busts plus clean breaks plus offloads, this season with 202?
Sebastien Ikahikifo.
Well done, Tom. Yeah, you've been paying attention each week. He had 133 tackle busts, which topped the league, 5 clean breaks, which obviously didn't, and 65 offloads, which was second to only Adam Cuthbertson. Although John Bateman might have had something to say in that count, because actually he's going at a rate of more offloads per game than even Cuthbertson. Yeah. But he's only played 4 times, obviously. The third question I have for you is, which top 4 side forward led the league in negative impact plays, that's missed tackles plus errors plus penalties, this season with 102?
Zeb Tyre. Is he in the top 4? No, he's not. I'm going to struggle with this one. Go on, who is it?
Mark Minicello.
Mark Minicello,
64 missed tackles, which I think was the top in that number. 19 errors and 19 penalties.
Right, bloody hell. Surprising that, because Hull have been rating his season as well, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I think he's not been quite as good as he was, and I think these sort of things come out to that, but I think he's still an important player in the whole thing. Yeah. And he's one of those players who usually makes up for his mistakes, I feel. He takes them personally, which obviously he's taken a lot personally this year. We know, number 4, we know Greg Eden had the most tries in the regular season with 34, but which young Wigan centre pipped him to the tries per game title with 2 tries in his 1 game?
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to read this kid's name and go, yeah, I've heard you talk about him, but I'm not going to be able to pull it out of my mind.
No, you're not.
Who is it?
These last ones are this one was the toughest one, I think.
Go on.
James Worthington.
James Worthington. There you go.
We know George...
familiar to me as he is to everyone else.
We know George Williams had the most try assists in the regular season.
But which Wigan half?
But which Huddersfield 3/4 pipped him to the try assists per game title with 3 assists in his 2 games?
Oh my god. I'm not going to get that either, mate.
Have a good think about it.
I'm not going to be able to tell you some kid who's played twice.
Not a kid. That's the only clue you're getting.
Read me the question again, then. If that's the only clue I'm getting, it's not a kid.
We know George Williams had the most try assists in the regular season with 26, but which Huddersfield 3/4 pipped him to the try assists per game title with 3 assists in his 2 games?
Played twice for him. Not really. I don't know. Go on. Who is it?
Jordan Turner.
Jordan Turner. Fuck's sake. Yes. Oh, there you go. Fair play. That's all right. So what was that? 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's in and around the 50% mark. I'll take that. But of course, you can let us all know how you guys got on and what people were screaming at their phones by tweeting into the show at Super League Pod or letting us know on Facebook how you did. Any recommendations, Mark?
Well, yeah. First one I'd throw in simply is Kettlewell Camping.
Okay.
It's a good campsite, good facilities. They even had Wi-Fi, but you need to probably camp a little bit nearer to the
hut
than I did, I think, for that. The only thing lacking is phone charging facilities, because there's no... You need to get one of those... The adapter that reverses it from to like the... using the adapter, that style that you would use for a shaver, for example, to charge your phone from the men's toilets. In the women's, they do have normal plugs, though. So you can take your chargers in there. They're hints for anyone who wants to go there. But it was really good, really reasonable, and a good base for exploring there, because there was a lot of easy walks up the dales and stuff. We saw a lot of people that were just staying for one night on trips, either cycling or walking through the dales. And whilst I was away, I finished a book that I've been reading for ages, called Austerity by Mark Blythe, and it's basically a anti-austerity kind of tale. Now, the start and the end of the book, really accessible, really good. The middle portion of the book, which is why it took me a while to read, was quite clunky and detailed, but anyone who's sort of into that sort of stuff and against austerity, or wants to find out more about what austerity is and what it means and why it's not necessarily the best idea for any kind of country, it's worth a read. It's very interesting, it's very detailed, and it meant I could start reading another book which I've nearly finished. It's a very accessible read, and it's a book called Utopia for Realists by Rutger Bregman. It's a very accessible read. I would recommend everyone. But I've nearly finished that book. I've got a couple of chapters to go. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to, not just the people of left-wing minds, but anyone. It's a very accessible and interesting book. So I would recommend that. Utopia for Realists by Rutger Bregman.
Fantastic.
What about yourself?
Well, I have a recommendation, Mark, although none of it is quite so lofty and intellectual as yours, although it's on a similar vein. We both like trivia, don't we? And we're not bad on board games. Well, a couple of weekends ago, I had ended up in a bit of a games night with Emma and her sister and her boyfriend, who came over to Emma's house, and we went out to try and find a new board game that we could all play and something that would appeal to our competitive and trivial natures, and we found Wikipedia, the board game. Mark, it's brilliant.
Oh, I've got that.
It's really interesting.
I think your ex bought it for me.
Ah, well, there you go then. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I was about to talk to you and explain it all for your benefit, but I'll do it for the listeners. Basically what happens is you all play along together. One person reads out the questions from the card, and on each card there are 3 different sections. One's like general knowledge based on the subject. The other is putting into order what you think would be the order of page views of pages relating to a particular subject. And then the final part of each round is one where the question reader gets to play as well, where there's a category listed and you have to list 5 things from within that category, and you get points based on your answers matching up with the question asker, which is tremendous fun. And as it happens, Mark, although I didn't know that you'd
don't worry, we've not played it too much. I didn't actually enjoy it that much.
Oh, right, well, you're going to enjoy this, mate, because I've brought it along and I've picked out a couple of sections for you to have a play with, to see if you are...
Do I need to use your pen?
You've got your own... There's your pen. I haven't brought my own pen, but I'll write my answers down when we get to the final part. I've tried to keep it rugby league related in the 2 sections that or the 2 categories that I've picked, but I'll give you the honour. So, left hand or right hand for the first section, for the first category?
I will go with the left hand.
Left hand is Leeds. You're answering questions on the city of Leeds. So first up, 3 general knowledge questions. You've got a minute on the clock to answer these. and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, time starts now. In which English county is Leeds located? Which bookmaker's headquarters